Hi, Techie guys. I'm Nankishore Swami, and today we will be learning about using DeepAgent with Robotic. So, DeepAgent is a framework given by Langchain. It has the four basic pillars, like it has access to planning tool, sub-agent, system prompt, and file system. We'll talk about these four things once we get started. Our deep agent will be having access to the LLM model, and that LLM model will be equipped with all of our robot, and it will execute whenever it is required. So let's get started and try to understand what is the deep agent. So if you go to the Google and search for the LangChain deep agent, then you will get the documentation and the GitHub link. In the documentation, you can see build the agent. Agent is nothing but all of our bot. In robotic world, we call it bot or robot, and in LLM world, it is called as agent. So, deep agent is to build the agent that can plan, use sub agent, and leverage the file system for complex tasks. It means here we see the four pillar. Whenever a deep agent given a particular task or asked to run a particular bot, then it will plan the to-do list, like what step it need to take to run the particular bot, and what will be the input of that bot, and what is output expected out of that bot. Sub-agent is nothing but the bot only. System prompt, wherein we define what is the deep agent's role and what is expected out of him. File system is again nothing but having deep agent access to write what action it took and take a note of it and store in the local system file. So it has the access to read, write, and update the local system file. Now we understood how the deep agent works. So the first thing that we need is one of the LLM model that this deep agent can access and couple of bots. So first we'll set up the LLM model, and in our use case we will be using Google's Gemini. So let's go ahead and create the Google Gemini's API key. It's all free. So if you go to the Google and search for the Google Gemini API key, and open it up and click on get started. Once you click on get started, you will find this option get API key, and click on create API key to create the API key. The next thing that you need is Visual Studio and the Python to be installed on your system. So let's open up the any of your folder where you can create your project folder. So just right click, create a folder, and give a meaningful name. Here in our use case is LLM with robotics. I'll just open up the folder, go to CMD, open this folder in Visual Studio Code. Now it's all empty and the blank folder. So we'll go to the terminal. We'll use UV to create a blank project. So for that one, we have a command called UV in it. Once you, oh, sorry, we made a spelling mistake. So it's UV in it. It will create a blank project. At the same time, will also create a environmental variable to store all the libraries in isolated manner, just related to this project only. So we'll just write UV VENV and hit enter. It will create the virtual environment. So let's activate this. I'll click dot V, hit tab, S, hit tab, A, hit tab, and click on it. It has activated. Let's clear up everything. Now our empty project is all ready. So we'll also create a env file to store the environmental variables value, wherein we will be storing the Google Gemini API key. So it will be dot env. Hit enter, and to store the API key, we'll create a variable here and store that value, and how we'll create the model instance. And to creating the LLM model instance, we'll be using LangChain's Google Gemini integration, and that is the already pre-written library to easily establish the connection between the Google Gemini and create the model instance. So first thing that we need is be this library to be installed. So I'll go back, write UV and add the library that we wanted to be installed. Okay, now we'll see the code sample. Before that, we need to store the API key, and to get the API key from environmental variable, we'll use ChatGPT file code to read dot env. And here we have the sample code. So first thing that we need is these two libraries. Okay, OS we already have, so we'll remove it. Then we need to use the load.env. Now we should be having the value in Google API key. So we'll go back to, oh, sorry. We write all the code in .env file. So we'll go to the main. You cut all the code from here and paste it in the main file. We don't need the existing one, so we'll remove it. For some reason, all the code got vanished. No worries. We'll again copy paste, go back to our LangChain Google Gemini's integration, and at the same time, we'll load the key value from environmental variable, and we need to install this .env library. So again, we'll use uv add. Okay, this is installed and it's a duplicate. We'll remove it. Now we'll store the key in .env file and copy the key value. Where is it? Here. Now we have the key. Then we need the code to create the Google instance. Sorry, model instance. So that's here. So we'll just copy, paste, but this is for the pro version. So, but we do not have access to the pro version and we'll be using free API. So go to API quick and copy the model version that we have access to. So it's a flash. Copy, paste, and let's see if our model instance is ready to use. So I'll just print model dot invoke and I'll just say hi to see if our model works as expected. And let's run it. So here we did is created our Google Gemini's API key and models instance. That's it. And now we are checking if our LLM model is created and ready to use. Okay, let's see the response. Model name. Sorry, here you can see. Here you can see the model response. It says, "Hello, how can I help you today?" So it means the model setup is all good and it's working as expected. Next thing that we need to do is create the two bot that we can give access to the deep agent and it can run whenever required. So I'll just write a simple function to do a calculation. So write Python function to take two input number and do the calculation. And let's see what function it writes. Okay, so the calculation, I'll keep the code. Here we can see a function and I'll give the name Gaussian calculation. Gaussian underscore calculation. And in the prompt also perform basic Gaussian calculation on two number. Okay, we need to supply the two number and the operation one of them. Okay. Another function. Oh, we don't need this code, so we'll remove it. Another function that we are going to write or the bot that we are going to write is open up the notepad and write the result in that. So I already requested the ChatGPT to create a function that will uh, take not input and write into the notepad. I'll just copy it, or rather I'll copy everything and go back to our code and paste it. Here's the import statement. So I'll take it on the top. I'll just write all the import on the top. Okay. I think we are good now. And I'll put it there. part of the function and to take note. Okay, we don't need basically this part. So take note, I'll also rename it to Gaussian note. It will take the note input and open up a notepad and write it down. So I'll write the prompt. Use this. Prompt is basically very important to have the model or LLM understand when it is called and when it is not. So function to save the no. This function is to write the GGN node. That is the important thing in Notepad. And I'll remove everything else. Okay. Save it. Oh, okay. Hmm. And we'll see the prompt in our first function perform use this function to perform the basic Boolean calculation. Okay, now we have the two bot and our LLM model ready. The next thing that we need to do is create an instance of DeepAgent. So if you go to the DeepAgent sample code on how to create the instance, get started. This is about the theory. Here we also have a system prompt. So we'll copy and paste. But first thing that we need is create DeepAgents library. So from DeepAgents, Control B, go back, clear the agent. Now it's installing. So it has installed the required library for the DeepAgent, and now we can see the create DeepAgent function is available to use. Another one, the tool is nothing but the bot that we created. So we have created the two bot. So I'll just copy the function name, our bot function name, give it here, and another one is GGN node. Yeah, GGN node. Now we have given the agent access to the tool, but we not have given the model access. So now we'll give the model access. Now our agent has access to the model, LLM model, all the tool or the bot that we created. Another thing that we need is system prompt. System prompt is nothing but the instruction. How should agent behave and produce the output here? So you are an expert agent tool controller. Tool controller. Your job is to run the requested tool whenever required. The rest will remove. you have access to the Ggen cal. Now we'll give the tool access. Use this to run. Use this to use the request tool for given query. Okay, now we should be good with the system prompt as well, and our agent should be ready. The next step is to store the agent's response. So if you go to the DeepAgents documentation, here we call the or invoke the agent and store the result. Now, what we are requesting our deep agent to do is what is the lang chain? Uh, what is the lang chain and do the Gaussian calculation on. Okay, this is also a good prompt. Gaussian calculation of this, and write the result and Gaussian note in a notepad. Okay, let's see what prompt we have given. We are asking our agent to tell me what is the lang chain and do the Gaussian calculation of these two numbers and write the result in Notepad. And let's see how it works. We'll also see the result printed. So let's run it. Okay, now it worked, but at the same time, it also exceeded the our current quota. So we should be good here. So that's it for today. Thank you for